Twitch. We're here.
Hi, Twitch.
Hi, Twitch.
It's Justin's birthday. Everybody sing him a virtual happy birthday.
Well,
oh God, we can't record that because I can't be loud in this room.
Guys, I have some bad news. Not only is it Justin's birthday, but apparently, and this is real, it's also the death of Mr. Peanut.
Yeah.
He died at 104 today.
Like today?
Yeah, the planters Peanut died today.
Who ate him?
People are using the hashtag RIPeanut to pay respects.
Isn't he like a caricature?
Yeah, he was dangling from a cliff apparently with two dudes, and he sacrificed himself to save them. The estate of Mr. Peanut. The estate of Mr. Peanut is tweeting this out. He's gone. There's video footage of him dying.
Steve, can you know Lucas better than I do? Is this satire or is this real?
I'm sending you the link.
Eugene, right, for once, I'm just as confused as you.
Click the link if you don't believe me. He's gone. Accept it.
So I want our listeners to know that this comes to us from yahoo.com, which nobody
It's
actually
always
reads.
known for its topical... Yeah, he's dead, guys. Mr. Peanut is dead.
And Twitter is losing it. You've got to get the whole headline.
Oh man, I'm at it. I'm on. I don't know what to do. Don't know what to make of this.
Oreo, Snickers, everyone is paying respect. Jeopardy,
All
Mr.
right.
Clean.
Texas Roadhouse.
Before we get
Did you say
copyright stricken
Jeopardy?
by all of the major brands by Yum
Eugene, he
Incorporated.
said Jeopardy, and you're not going to call him on it? Jeopardy?
And I quote, he may have been completely nuts, but he died a hero. Hashtag RIPeanut.
Well, I mean,
Good luck.
let's good luck in the afterlife, Mr. Nut.
Pour one out for Mr. P.
Mm-hmm.
Also, happy birthday, Justin.
Oh my God,
All right,
if
well,
he
what-
ever hears this.
What say you all we get rolling? I'm going to play some awesome music from an awesome game that I have yet to play because I don't have an awesome system to play it on. Actually, I do have a PS3.
Really gotta get one.
I have a PS3, but I'd have to dig that out of a box. Anyways,
Yeah, that's a lot of work.
If Mario and Luigi were to do a podcast, it might sound something like this. Infendo Radio is on now.
hello everybody, and welcome to Infendo Radio. It is time for the show to start. It is Justin's birthday, so he's actually not with us tonight, but everybody send him a tweet for happy birthday, even if it's like a week late, no problem.
It's Justin's birthday, so he's celebrating in the best way he could think of, not being around any of us tonight.
Yeah, what the hell, Justin? Can't believe you wouldn't spend your special day with us.
I do have two non-birthday boys with me tonight. How are you doing tonight, Steve?
Oh, sure, you wait till I go check to see if the door is closed to call on me. I see how you are. You're watching me. You're just waiting for me to mess up. As always.
That's what I do.
Always Steven.
Steven's here. He's doing great. But Lucas is also here. And how are you doing tonight, sir?
Well, I'm an only child, so every day I'm the birthday boy, so I'm doing quite well.
That's very nice. That's very good. I think that we have a great show for you tonight. We have a change to the system where, actually, I think there's going to be a little bit of news popping in, even if it's just rumors or whatnot. And then we'll play a little mini game hosted by me, and then we will do a little round table after that. So we will be right back. I wasn't sure if you were ready, Steve, so we can do that
thank
after.
you. Yeah, thank you for not calling on me because I always am scrambling now to get that.
I was like, I better let's... What up? We're back.
Sup?
I gotta say, when you two actually use the F word, it's alarming.
I don't do it often.
I feel like Eugene does it like once a show, though, right? Like,
but never during the show. It's always
no.
between segments, and it always catches me
But
off
like
guard.
every time we're about to start the show, he's like, "Let's fucking get back to it," without fail.
See, because it's like clearing
gets
out
it
your
out of his system.
Yeah, exactly. You got to clear it out of your pipes before they go
you're
live.
picking that big old booger. That way you can breathe properly.
Yeah, see, that was the analogy I was going with.
I'm kind of disappointed that with Justin not here, there's nobody to comment on my silky smooth chest like he has been for the last 4 weeks.
Schnazzy one might say something. What up, Schnazzy?
There we go.
I see you in chat.
Schnazzy, fulfill Justin's destiny.
All right, let's hit the music and let's hit the show.
Infendo Radio records live every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. You can join us and watch those live recordings over at twitch.tv/Infendo Radio.
And we're back. It's time to talk about the games we've been playing and perhaps a little bit of news. But before we get too far, let's thank the people who brought the show to you tonight.
Yeah, as always, we want to take just a minute to thank our producers. This is the best song for this, by the way.
I know.
Our faithful producers, contributing a minimum of $10 a month over at patreon.com/Infendo Radio, are Minus64, Phantom, EP Knothead, Skypharaoh, and Slacker Monkey. And then we also have our two executive producers contributing a minimum of $20 a month, Andrew Searson and the Brianosaurus. So thank all 7 of you very much for continuing to support the show.
Thank you, guys.
All right, well, let's get started with Change the System. And I'm actually going to take first because I want to. I saw a rumor that came posting in through our Discord, actually. I think Minus might have actually posted it. Mortal Kombat Collection online got rated by Peggy. I think that's the service out of Europe.
That's the European ESRB.
Mm-hmm.
Peggy 7.
So
Peggy
that
12.
sounds really cool. I there's nothing really behind it, but I would take this is what I'm envisioning, Mortal Kombat Trilogy online. Let me do that.
So that's exactly what it is. I actually read the full description for it, and it's basically the Mortal Kombat Trilogy with online play is what it boils down to.
Great.
And as soon as I read that, I heard Justin fangasm all the way here.
I have.
So you know he's thrilled about that.
Yeah.
I have virtually no interest in this news, but
See,
spot on for those of you who do.
Mortal Kombat Trilogy is the only Mortal Kombat aside from Mortal Kombat 9. That was the one that came out PS3 during the great hack of the PlayStation.
Right.
Mortal Kombat Trilogy is the only Mortal Kombat besides that one that I've spent any amount of time with.
We
so
could
I
fix
would
that.
love to see that on the Switch.
We could fix that by getting you a copy of Mortal Kombat 11 and having you play with me.
Fun story of that, Lucas. I have Mortal Kombat 11 and I've never booted it up.
That's a darn shame. But we're never going to get to it because you're going to be finishing Hyrule Warriors, and then we're going to be playing Warriors Orochi 8 or whatever, and
we haven't announced that yet, Lucas.
I'm excited to buy it, Steve.
Sorry, Eugene. You may proceed.
Yeah, that's pretty much it on that one. There was another rumor that I wanted to bring up, but not give too much weight to, because again, it's kind of a rumor that came out of a forum, blah blah blah, who knows where it came from. But rumor has it that the new specs of the Switch Pro are starting to leak out, so it looks like
I don't even need to hear it. Sold.
Asterisk here, the new specs of the system that is still itself a rumor.
Right, exactly.
We don't even know that we're getting a Switch Pro, and now we're just reporting on specs.
So the rumored specs.
So take this with a grain of salt. Yeah. But Eugene, please.
Yeah, actually use some salt substitute this time. What we're going to talk about on this one is the chip that's behind it, because apparently it's going to be a Tegra Model X1 Plus, whatever the heck that means. But the big reason for why people are excited about that is because that will allow 4K. So, I guess that's kind of cool. If you have a 4K TV, it could support 4K performances for that. But also there was a rumor on that one that from the leaker, that this was going to be released in Q4. So, towards the end of the year.
Makes sense.
Yes, I have 2 tent sales to save up money for that bad boy.
Oh my god. Steven, there is no conceivable universe where you need a third Nintendo Switch.
No, I won't have a third. I will sell my
the
Switch
original
version too.
Okay.
God.
But
I sold my original. EP Knothead has my original.
Steve,
Nope.
think of this
Yes.
as a Pokedex and not a living Pokedex. So you've actually had like 4 Switches at this point.
Well,
right?
yeah, I had my launch day model, and then I had the Diablo edition because why not? And then I got the version 2, and then I got the Switch Lite a couple months later.
I would like to point out that for all of its cracks and the little missing grate that covers the fan on my Switch, I am still rocking my original Switch.
Me too.
That I went to what was it, Target to get the same day as Mike, like a month after Breath of the Wild came out.
And how many times on evening calls are you complaining that your Switch is about to die or it dies in the middle of that match?
Oh yeah, but here's the thing: that would not change.
Steven.
That would not change by having a better Switch. That would just mean, oh, I played for 6 hours and it died instead of I played for 4.
Also true. Schnazzy is also rocking his day 1 Switch.
Me too. You know
Props.
what got me to not get a Redbox Switch, Steve?
Me?
No, I bought a $15 cable that is 6 feet long that I can plug into my Switch and play from bed while charging.
Dang, that's nice.
Yeah. Oh, that would work nicely with my battery charger.
Should we round out the news here then before we
Yeah,
go into the games?
I'm pretty much
let's
done
get it
with
over
mine.
with.
So
I'll toss it off to whoever. Yeah.
Last week, if those of you loyal Infendo Radio listeners might have remembered that I made a prediction for Smash Bros. That the character would be some white dude that I don't really care much about, and lo and behold, we're getting
some white dude you don't care much about.
We're getting okay. So when
and
we're getting
chick.
So we're getting Byleth from Fire Emblem Three Houses. When I was playing Fire Emblem Three Houses, I said to myself, "There's no way Byleth won't at some point be a character in the Smash Bros.
No!
Series." It felt so right, like he's got the sword and blah blah blah. But yes, we're getting Byleth. The color variations are kind of fun. They kind of make it look like you're playing as the 3 champions of the original 3 houses before the secret house that Steve told me about from the new DLC for Fire Emblem. But yeah, it's another Fire Emblem character. And I liked that Sakurai took like 10 minutes out of the presentation to talk about how, look, guys, I know you don't get it, but in Japan, Fire Emblem is a big deal, okay? So, it makes sense. But...
I do have to say it was kind of funny, too, how they poked fun at that in the introduction video.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, great, you're another sword fighter. How are you going to stand out? And then they go into details of how Byleth's weapons work.
Yeah. It's not that exciting for me, and I'm probably the one here that should be excited because I actually like Fire Emblem. It's a lot of Fire Emblem, and it's a lot of main characters in Fire Emblem where I think we could be seeing more diversity and actually having allies that you put in your army as characters instead of just the main hero of each generation.
Honestly, what is the point of introducing Echo Fighters if we're not going to add any more Echo Fighters to the roster, That would be a perfect Echo Fighter of a Chrom or something,
It also doesn't help for me, at least, that the last fighter of this DLC, and as Steve said, really other than Piranha Plant, who wasn't even DLC, he was just a pre-purchase bonus. The only character that's like a first-party Nintendo character is just another Fire Emblem Pro tag. So, it's a thing. The cool thing was they did announce that there's going to be 6 DLC fighters in the next pass. And I have a theory that the reason that there's now 6 when originally they announced 5 is that they were trying to make a deal with some third-party company that was hard to get, a hold of. And they said, oh, we don't know if the deal's going to go through or not. So they announced they had 5 characters in the work. They started deving the characters. And then at some point after they had already started working on all the characters, the team was like, yeah, we'll put our character in the game. And that's why we're getting a 6. That's my working theory.
Now, what character could that possibly be? Maybe somebody from Activision? Who is also rumored right now? Crash?
Oh my god, yes.
There, I got it in. Are you happy?
Yeah, so there's a rumor that Crash is going to be the next fighter in the line. It's a theory I've got that,
Right.
why would they announce 5 and then make 6?
Right.
I think there was probably a deal being made and, it fell through and now it's back. But who knows? I don't really, I can't say that I understand how that side of the business works entirely. So I could be totally wrong. But I'm excited for the next line of DLC. I'm hoping we get some more Nintendo characters instead of all of these third-party characters. Smash is getting a little third-party for me.
I would be okay with more third-party characters if they were, like, not second party, right? Because, like, the Fire Emblem characters are basically, like,
Yeah.
I gotta jump in here. I was one of the ones that was originally against Doomslayer being in Smash.
Yeah.
But now that they're starting to really hype up Doom Eternal coming out in March and soon after on Switch, evidently, they said the delay isn't going to be that long.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really getting on this Doom kick right now, which I'll kind of go into in my change of system here in a minute. I think Doomslayer might get me back into Smash. I think if they did Doomslayer or Steve, I think I might actually get back into Smash.
Do you think you would play Smash, though?
I think I would play it for a solid 4 weeks and then drop it like I do everything else. But that would be a solid 4 weeks. You'd be able to play Smash with me.
So we've been over this before. I realize we're going a little long, but we're going to have kind of a short change the system without Justin. So Doomslayer would be kind of fun because it would give Samus... Like, I play Smash by myself a lot. And right. I play, person versus person. What are cool matchups I can do.
So you've got Samus and Zero Suit Samus. You've got Snake.
Basically, what I'm saying is Doomslayer would be a fun...
Bayonetta.
Like, Doomslayer would be kind of a cool bounty hunter-esque character for Samus to fight. Like, I could have some fun with that. The characters I want to see for DLC, and I'm not going to name anybody specific, but I think that The Legend of Zelda would do well with another rep. We really only have the 3 Triforce bearers, so it would be fun to have somebody else from that series represented.
Zant. I want Zant.
And I've been wanting Girahim. I would take pretty much anybody,
Groose.
Honestly. Yeah,
Linkle.
Groose, Medley.
Linkle would be a good opposite for Bayonetta.
Linkle could be fun, yeah. Anybody from that. Forgive me, Eugene. I've been wanting a second Sonic character since Brawl. I've always...
I would take a second Sonic character. Like Tails or Knuckles would be
Shadow,
cool.
Yeah.
Eggman.
Yeah, it always feels awkward to me when you have...
Yeah.
See, yeah, it always feels awkward to me when you have a character like Sonic, but then you don't have anybody that's like a match for him. He's just kind of there by himself, And you don't have any villains from the series or like sidekick characters to team him up with. So you're always doing like Sonic versus Link and Sonic versus Mario and like,
Right.
It'd be nice to fill in some of those blanks. I realize that's not really how they think. And that's not really how the majority of Smash players think. So my wish probably won't come true. But in a perfect world for me, I would be getting some characters to fill in those blanks. Maybe even a creature from Pikmin for Olimar to battle, like a Bulborb or something that you could play as. Things like that.
You know what I've been thinking, and I don't know how they could make it work, but I was thinking that they release a character...
Well, Ridley could never work, so anything's possible.
Well, I was thinking that they release a character like Ditto, right? But Ditto is like Shang Tsung, where he can like transform into like multiple Pokemon. So then you can get like a variety of different Pokemon too.
Oh, that would be fun. Yeah,
or
I would love something
he could
like that.
be an Echo Fighter for Kirby.
Yeah, and literally transform into I can see it. I'm throwing this out there. My most wanted characters are still Geno from Mario RPG. Now that Ridley's in, I don't think there's any reason why they couldn't get Geno.
Right.
I still want Cinderace from Pokemon. I think if we're going to get a Gen 8 rep, I think it should be Cinderace, just because I think that would be a lot of fun. Characters like that. I wanted Tharja back when Fire Emblem Awakening was a hot item, but we got Robin, who basically just used magic anyway, so it was kind of the same thing. So,
Lucas, you want Cinderace and you don't want Zacian? We could have another sword wielder.
Oh my god.
Well,
or we could just put Eternatus in. That would be
Fuck
please.
that. I will stop playing Smash. I will sell my copy and delete everything if they put Eternatus in.
And then there's Eugene's boy who never made the cut yet, Waluigi. So the internet wants him. I still see him kind of memey personally. Like he wouldn't do much for me. The Mario characters never do, but I know you want him, so there's a part of me like maybe.
It would be nice to have the 4 brothers, the two opposing
Wario's
brothers.
there, kind of like you said, like Wario needs his, he has
that would be
Mario,
nice.
but,
Yeah.
Well, cool. Did we have anything else we wanted to talk about, news or Smash or anything wise, before we start talking games we've been playing?
Let's talk games.
I was going to say the only other news I had was id came out and said that Doom Eternal on Switch will not be too much later than Doom Eternal on the other platforms. So that leads me to believe maybe April at the latest. So stoked about that. I know I'm probably the only Doom fan here, but you know.
That's
I like
good.
Doom. I really did like the newer Doom games. I haven't played the newest Doom game, but
Right.
Doom has never really captured me in any meaningful way, but you know, that's neither here nor there. I don't have anything against it. I just don't really enjoy it, you know?
So I guess if we're going to start Change System proper, I'll start this one because I can actually segue right off of that.
Mhm.
I alluded earlier that I have been very into Doom lately. I found out, I don't remember if it was last week or the week before, they released patches for Doom and Doom 2, all the console versions of it. So Switch, PS4, Xbox One, PC.
Oh, you were excited about this.
So there are 3 add-on packs that you can download in these updates. There's a whole lot of other stuff. You can change the lighting 60 frames a second. You can go from 4:3 to widescreen. I don't give a crap about any of that. All I care about is all I care about is the fact that the expansions give you Ultimate Doom in the first 2. And then in Doom 1, there was an extra chapter made by John Romero. And in Doom 2, there was another kind of extra chapter that you can play as now. So basically, all of Ultimate Doom, or Final Doom as it was known, you can play on the console versions of Doom now, which is awesome. And that was a free update. They also fixed the Bethesda.net login issues that they were having. So that's a thing of the past now.
And
they patched that out
so
on
you
Doom
don't
3 as
have
well.
to be logged in online to play it? Is okay?
Correct.
Cool.
Yeah, it's completely optional now. I'm trying to think. I've already again forgotten, Lucas, the other thing that I was going to talk about on Change the System.
Case.
Huh?
Switch case.
Oh yeah. So, Andrew Searson, executive producer, had noticed that I have a new case for my Switch Lite. It is an official Hori licensed case. It's called the Switch Lite Flip Case. And the cool thing is you can literally play the Switch Lite inside the case. And it's magnetic, so you flip it, you drop it in your pocket. It was $30, worth every penny. This thing is basically like a wallet now. The only thing I don't like about it is your shoulder buttons are exposed when it's closed. So you do have to be kind of careful of that. But
that gives you something to click on while you're sitting on the bus waiting.
Click, which I do a lot. It drives people nuts.
Can you? This is a sidetrack, but remember how on the 3DS you can like turn it into an MP3 player? Does the Switch do that?
Only on Smash Brothers.
Okay.
And that's basically all you need. That's like 1,000 tracks.
That's all you need. You go on the bus, Steve, turn on your Smash, close your Switch Lite, and click your buttons when you want to go.
Does it have a hole for the cable to go through?
Not for the headphone jack. If you're using USB headphones, then yes, that'll work.
You could millennial girl it and just
USB
throw it through
work
the
on
top.
The Switch?
Yeah.
No, do they?
Really?
Yeah, they make USB, as long as they're USB-C, they make USB-C Bluetooth adapters for the Switch.
Okay, but can I just plug this into my Switch?
You should be able to. It's a USB headset.
Test it, Eugene. Test it while we're on the air.
Yeah.
It's time for, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for one of Infendo Radio's famous live tests.
Well, you guys continue on. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
See what you've done.
Which is funny because that was about all I had. But yeah, so I would definitely buy this case. I guess, Lucas, since you need to go next, I can start with my story, my Pokemon story, and then you can go into yours.
Only fair, since your story happened a week before mine.
Yeah, so last Friday, as a matter of fact, well, I started last Wednesday, I think. I started breeding for a shiny Applin.
Yep.
So I really wanted a shiny Flapple. Under 300 eggs letter on Friday at work. I hope my bosses aren't listening. I hatched that egg. I'm sitting in front of my... Yeah, I know, right? I'm sitting in front of my wife's boss, and I hatched my shiny Applin. I got home that night. I evolved into a shiny apple, or Flapple, excuse me, I now have a Granny Bee. I know, right? I now have a Granny Bee looking Flapple, and I put it into my Pokeball Plus, Eugene, and I think I figured out how the Pokeball Plus works.
Okay.
It loads. It has like flash memory in it, and maybe that's not working. And it loads the sound.
The test was a failure, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
Moving on.
So it must only work with certain headsets. My apologies. But anyway, so I think it flashes the sound into the Pokeball and then changes the color based on what the game tells it to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
when I loaded my Flapple in, it was green instead of red.
Well, let's not bury the lead here. Your good buddy Lucas said, hey, did you know that shiny Pokemon are the shiny color in the Pokeball? And you were like, what? And I was like, yeah. And you were like, no. And I was like, try it.
I don't trust him. He's a liar.
And you were like, I'm going to try it. And then you tried it. And you were like, what? And I was like, yeah.
And it worked.
That's great.
So then Lucas cool. did a thing.
Oh yeah. So I guess this is my change the system now.
Uh-huh.
So Steve got his shiny Flapple, which is the little Drago boy who does the thingy. And yeah, I wanted one, but I like Appleton, which is the big Drago boy who's shaped like a pie. So I went ahead and hatched him, and that was magical. It took me about 3 or 4 boxes, which is less than
about
Steve.
100. It's about 120. It took me about 6 or 7.
So I hatched my little shiny apple boy, and now I have an Appleton. He's amazing and everything I love in this world. And fun fact, they are biologically siblings because we use the same mom to make them. So
we have sister. Well, we have brother sister Pokemon.
Mine's a boy. His is a girl. Yep, there we go. But I actually wanted to talk about another game that I've been playing a lot of, and forgive me because here we go. But Dragon Ball Z Kakarot came out last week, and I'm not a Dragon Ball fan until I started playing Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, and now I am. It is a fun game, guys. Like, it is helping me remember that gaming is about so much more than just grinding for, rare items and 100% completion. No offense, Steve, because I know this is your whole thing right now. But the Monster Hunter type of game where it's just like, I gotta get that loot, like I'm playing this game just to enjoy the story because I've never watched Dragon Ball Z. I've always found it too tedious. They did that old school anime thing where they shoveled a bunch of filler stuff in to make up for the fact that the storyline wasn't that long. Kakarot fixes that by just letting you play the game. So you're playing through the training and then you're doing the battles and then you're playing through more training and doing the battles. And it's fun. So I'm about halfway done with the game now. I finished the, I don't know what the official terminology would be, but I finished the arc with Vegeta, which was the first one. Then I finished the Frieza arc, which is amazing. And now I'm like halfway through the Cell games where the androids have come down and beaten the living crap out of everybody. Goku's going into the time stasis chamber thing to train. And yeah, Cell just showed up and he's like, I'm going to absorb the androids and become the perfect life form. And I'm like, well, this is Dragon Ball, so Goku's probably gonna one-shot you. But it'll be fun all the same. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. Like, I'm realizing that video games are a great way to experience media that I haven't been able to put the time or effort into enjoying on my own. And I think Dragon Ball might kind of open up a window of other games for me where it's like, I've always wanted to know what this show is about, but I don't want to sit down for 60 hours and watch it. Let me just play a video game. So I highly recommend it. If you guys have a Steam or a PS4 or a Xbox One, pick it up if you have any remote interest in a fun action RPG, story. So
sure,
it's a good game. And then I went back and I played a little bit of Xenoverse 2 because I was hankering to play as my own fan-made characters from back in the day. And I was like, oh, I wish this game played like Kakarot because Kakarot plays really well compared to this, and I didn't realize it. So yeah, and that's pretty much all I've been doing. So Eugene, would you like to round us off?
Yeah, there is a couple of games.
Well, I'm so sorry, Eugene. It's a shame. We're gonna have to cut to a commercial.
I'll be brief. I've really only been playing one game this week, aside from doing a little bit Pokemon hunting here and there, but really just Rogue Legacy. I realized why I like this game a lot. It's because it's basically Dead Cells. It's
it
like
looks Dead Cells. Yeah.
It's like the same game type, just rolled in a different art style, you know. But I dig that. I like it a lot. What's cool about Rogue Legacy is that I've actually beaten it before, but like cheating because I was on PC and using like cheat engine and stuff like that. So like this is gonna be the first time I'm gonna legit play it all the way through and beat it, and it's actually rewarding to do it that way because, you know, like incrementally you're just getting a little bit further. You're getting a little bit more powerful each time, and you know, obviously that's the intention of the game. That's how the game designers wanted it to be, and I'm enjoying my time with it. It's a good palate cleanser for Pokemon, because I was kind of getting a little in a rut with Pokemon. I think Steve, you found that like kind of early
I went
on
through
in
that
Pokemon.
too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fully back on the train though.
Yeah, I know, right? That I fully anticipate myself to jump back on, but the reason why I jumped off, honestly, is because of the DLC trailer. It's like, okay, well, I want to do that.
Get ready,
right?
Yeah. So Rogue Legacy has been my kind of game that I've been playing lately. I think I'll probably have it beat up by next time we meet up, I would imagine, and I'll be moving on to something else.
I'll say I think my Pokemon palette cleanser was Cadence of Hyrule.
Mm-hmm. I need to go back to Crypt, actually. I've been meaning to just get back into a cool rhythm game like that, because, you know, it's one thing to go back to Cadence, but Crypt is kind of different every time, you know. So
yeah.
All right, but that's about it. That's about it for Change the System, and I think we're going to take a little break here, so stay tuned. We'll be back. Hey, Twitch, we are back. All right,
doing our dance, and we're wearing our fancy pants in this Twitch dance.
Woo! All right, well, let's do the thing. Fuck, I keep forgetting to put a break note, but
Eugene.
Okay.
That's okay.
Tisk, Eugene.
Okay.
Also, did you catch Steven's F-bomb during the show?
I was like,
I think so. Let me see. Yes, Steve said, "Fuck that."
Just wanting to make sure shame
I was
Steve.
on air, mind you.
All right, let's do the thing. What are we doing now? Oh yeah, little round.
I don't even remember what I was talking about.
We're playing the game you're hosting.
Yeah, but what are we doing after the game? Because we don't have a question block, do we?
I guess we're just calling.
I thought we were doing that time versus money conversation.
Is that fine?
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, I've got a lot to talk about there.
I can actually bring us into that because it kind of plays off Hyrule Warriors.
And I can take like 15 of the 17-minute timer. Yeah.
All right, well, let's bring it back. Let's bring it around town. Here we go. For $1 a month, Steve's going to say your name and he's going to like it. Join our Patreon and you'll get a shout out each and every month. All right, we're back. It is time for a little round table. But before we do, let's do a little palate cleanser and let's play some 20 questions. So I have a game up here in the old memory bank ready to go. I'm going to toss it off to Steven and Lucas and Detective Pikachu to figure out what that game is. So without further ado...
I fully expect one of our favorite guests to make an appearance during this segment.
Hey, maybe you will, maybe you don't. Who knows what's going on anymore?
So just because it's only a one game segment, here's the new rule on this one. If you guess the game, you're out. That's it. The game is over. So you only get one game guess.
That seems... What happens when we both guess wrong?
That's it. Game's over. It's screwed.
Wow. Okay.
That seems... Okay. All right. I like it.
Wow. Okay.
Puts the pressure on a little bit. So you can't go like, Street Fighter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You gotta think about it first.
Okay.
Okay, all right.
So did this come...
So it's a Street Fighter game.
Did this game come out in the 2000 to 2009 era?
Dang, Steve's getting classy
Why
with
can't
his
you just use?
right
Why can't
away.
you just use consoles like a normal person?
Steve, the answer to that question is yes.
Oh God. Okay. So it's probably a GameCube game, right? Well, no. What was 2000? What was 2009? I went to college.
Where's our Justin?
Well,
2011 is the 3DS, so we're probably like
okay.
DS era.
Is this game on a console or handheld or both? That's a yes or no question.
No.
Is this game a console game?
This game is a console game.
Okay.
So
we're probably looking at GameCube, maybe the Wii.
Okay.
Is this game on the Wii?
This game is not on the Wii.
Is this game a first-party Nintendo game?
This game is not a first-party Nintendo game.
Oh, here we go.
Wait, 2000 to 2009, Lucas.
Mm-hmm. Wasn't 2000 the GameCube? I feel like I don't hear about N64
2001,
games.
I'm pretty sure was GameCube.
Okay. Is this game a GameCube game?
That was question 5. This game is a GameCube game.
Okay.
Okay. Not Nintendo. Is this game a fighting game?
This game is not a fighting game. Hold on though. What was your question about Nintendo?
Is this a first-party Nintendo game?
Okay, not a first-party Nintendo game. Just wanted to make sure I didn't lead you in the wrong direction there, because I just looked at the Wikipedia. It's a free hint there. It was published by Nintendo.
See, now it's when I want to start asking about games, but I can't do that because the host is cruel.
You can ask, is this from this franchise?
Well, but then I might be giving it to Steve. Is this game an RPG?
This game is an RPG.
Okay, I have a serious guess, but I don't want to do it without anything. Does the main character does the main character of this game have white hair? I can rephrase it. Does the main character of this game wear a blue outfit?
I'm gonna have to say no on this because there's not really a main character of this game.
Okay. Steve, do you know what I was going for there?
I don't know what you're going for, but I have an idea of what this might be, but I have to be very careful how I ask this to not tip you off.
Yeah,
this is
right?
brutal. Does this game have classes you can pick from?
This game does have classes. That's question 8.
Oh my god. Is this
I'm
gonna go for a Crystal Chronicles! Did we tie?
You both got the game right.
Yup! So, I was gonna say I'm gonna go for it, but then Steve started saying it, and I was like, it's good. We both knew what it was. We tied.
I
Well, see, here's the thing. I heard I heard Steve started off at first because he was like,
Eugene,
but then you were like, Crystal Chronicles.
I understand that, and you can say whatever you want, but in my mind, we tied.
Yeah.
No, that's
Eugene,
why I'm saying.
You're also going to need to edit that section.
That's why I'm saying I think that this is going to have to end in a tie. You both win. And the reason I chose that game is, where is that game on the Switch? I need it bad.
Yeah, they announced we were getting that. And it's just ghosting.
It got to, no, they actually talked about it a couple months ago. It got delayed to, I think, summer this year, if I remember right.
Dang.
Oh.
Have we determined yet whether or not that game's going to have online? Because I really want to play that with you boys.
Apparently, yes.
Oh man, you're gonna get to see me in all my sulky glory. It's gonna be a good time.
That'll
play
be
as a clavat.
That'll be a fun one to stream.
Oh, yeah. Dude, we're gonna be playing. Oh, we're gonna have our own adventure. Oh, that's gonna be so much fun.
Guys, we can stream on 3 different Twitch channels
hold
at
on,
the same time.
Hold on.
I swear to God, if you say March 20th,
that game comes out on January 23rd.
No,
what?
Wait, tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
What?
Wait, I haven't even seen it on the eShop yet. Are you sure?
I mean,
is that the original release?
Yeah, is that like?
I don't know. I might have. I'm. Let's go on to the round table, and I'll make sure.
Oh my God!
I have not seen it on the eShop.
No,
I do not believe
that can't be
you.
right. That can't be
No,
right.
I think that was the original date.
Yeah, it must be the original date because
I
Square
can't
Enix's
even bring
website
us-
says coming soon.
Yeah, I can't even bring us into the segment.
Damn you, Google!
Getting me all hot and bothered, Eugene. Come
Me
on.
too. That must have been when they originally announced that it was coming out or something.
No,
Anyways.
there's an infographic that Nintendo just released, and I think that was on just the not date announced one.
Fair. Well, I will temper my expectations for now.
Well, now that we've had our heart ripped out,
I mean, I'll send you the screenshot I looked at.
Well, no, I believe you. I just think that was the original.
No, we all believe you. We just think that you're misinterpreting facts.
Definitely am. I definitely am.
You're our boomer granddad, and you're on Facebook right now, and you're calling us and saying you are never gonna believe what I just read, and we're like, we know.
Did you know that Chuck Norris died? Yeah. But anyways,
right.
Sorry about that terrible misinformation that I just bestowed upon everybody. Let's talk about games that are gonna, like this game, that I'm gonna spend 100 hours into and their value and stuff. So yeah, Steve, why don't you kind of talk to us about that?
Lucas and I were having a discussion one evening, if you can imagine that. And something came up. And I think part of it came up when we were discussing Hyrule Warriors and Breath of the Wild, those games that we've sunk an ungodly amount of time in. Lucas was saying how, what are you closing in on Pokemon right now, Lucas? Are you closing in on 300?
Oh, that's cute, Steve. I am currently at 315.
Oh, okay. So we were having this discussion about the hours we put into some of these games. And it brought us to the point of, for whatever reason, starting probably, I guess with the Switch and even like the PS4, for whatever reason, people have this weird fascination with equating the value of a game, like the purchase price of the game, with how many hours you get out of it. You hear this all the time.
You've heard it on our show, where we'll be talking about a game like when we were doing Legend of Zelda, Link's Awakening. And, Justin was like, I want it. It's a great game. It's one of my favorite Zelda games, but it's only going to give me like 10 to 15 hours of gameplay, and that's not worth $60. Like, to me, that's mind-boggling. But
yeah, because, like, the amount of time you put into a game isn't really what should justify the price, in my opinion. I honestly feel like it should be like, how much are you going to enjoy the game? Like, for me, Link's Awakening was the very first Zelda game I ever beat, as I've said many times. So to get to play that in HD, with a new engine, with a couple of new features, that was worth the $70 I paid for it. Yeah. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, even though the only thing it added was Funky Mode, and I probably only put 30 hours into it, again, I didn't mind paying $60 for it, because it was that good of a game for me. How many times now have I bought Minecraft, whether it's for our co-hosts or the multiple versions on the different systems I have? You know, every dollar I've put into Minecraft, even just to get the server going again for like $60 a year, all of that money is worth it to me, not because I know I'm going to get an ungodly amount of hours in it, but because I genuinely love that game. I just am having a hard time understanding where this fascination with time sunk into a game equals good game.
Well, and this kind of goes back to what I was saying about Kakarot when we were doing Change the System, because it's kind of helped me remember that. A lot of times you use the amount of time because your resources are limited, your time is limited, and your budget is limited in most cases. So you can't buy every game. So it makes sense on the surface to say, well, if I can get a game that'll give me 60 hours of pleasure versus a game that'll give me 10, I'm going to pick the 60-hour game because cost analysis, I'm getting a better deal out of the $60 experience. But what I've kind of realized, and it's taken me a while to remember this, is that games are more than just like a grind. Games are more than just playing them to play them. It should come as no surprise to anyone who's ever listened to this show, I'm sure we've lost hundreds of listeners as a result, that Breath of the Wild is not my favorite Zelda game. Despite that, I have put an ungodly amount of hours into it to complete all the challenges. I'm at like 400 hours in that game. But
it's one of your most played games on the Switch.
Yeah, it currently is my most played game. But I don't enjoy it, if that makes any sense. It was an okay game. It was a game that was fine for what it was for me. It didn't do anything special for me. It didn't trigger me in any positive ways. But I put a lot of time into it. Would I say that the time I put in was worth, the like level of enjoyment I got out of it? No, those two things aren't equal to me. I can play a game that's much shorter, like a Majora's Mask, that I really like, and even though it's only going to be like a 30-hour game, I would much rather pay $60 for that because I'm going to love it. Now, you don't know what you're going to like and what you're going to dislike when you first start playing a game, but for me, the quality of the game, I think, is much more important than the length of time that you're going to put into it. And like I said, Kakarot is kind of reminding me of that. It's an adventure game, an adventure RPG. It's going to end, and when it ends, I'm probably not going to want to play it much more. It's not about grinding to get like the most out of it that I can get. It's not that Monster Hunter that I've been so addicted to. It's a more pure kind of gameplay experience for me. Because like when I'm playing a game like Monster Hunter, I know that I'm being addicted, like I know that I'm going through it and I'm like, oh, I got to get that armor set and then I got to get this armor set, and there's something fun about giving yourself over to that addiction and putting like 12-hour days into Monster Hunter and stuff and just grinding it out. But I'm finding that I'm enjoying a lot more like this game that I'm playing now because it's fun. And it'll end, but it'll end when it's done telling me the story it wants to tell me. And
sure,
I think not to go all old school on people here, but I think games used to do that more. And I think these days games lean more on how can we keep a person playing as long as possible, and then how can we introduce loot to create that addictive quality where you need to keep paying us money to get more of that content. And it's kind of nice to be going back to games that have a story to tell it, and then stop. Because I mean, at the end of the day, like I'm definitely a gamer, but my entire life shouldn't revolve around playing video games. I got other stuff to do. And when I get really hooked on a game, I stop working on my game. I stop working on my channel. I give up portions of my life for the sake of the game because the game is so much fun.
You actually said that about Minecraft. You said and it's not a knock on Minecraft or anything.
No,
you said that you use all your creative energy in Minecraft, so it makes you not want to be creative in other areas.
Exactly. It's a very creative game. And when I'm building in Minecraft, I'm feeling accomplished I have this thing that I assume a lot of like artists have, not to sound incredibly pretentious here, where I feel good when I complete like my work, and Minecraft gives me the fake version of that. Because I can build a giant tower and say, "Look at what I built," and I feel so spent creatively. I feel so fulfilled, but I'm not actually making progress on anything. I'm just building a Lego tower in a video game. So like, yeah, I've been rambling here, but yeah, I'm kind of with you on this, Steve, where maybe it'll be different when I adult, maybe when I have a kid and a family, and
Well, you say that, but I'm like 36.
Yeah, good point. It's just like, for me, video games have always been my books, and I'm realizing that you can pick up the dictionary and get hours of reading out of it, but
that is genius.
But it's not going to be a fulfilling read. It's just it's content. Whereas, like, picking up a good book, like my favorite book, The Count of Monte Cristo, and reading through it, it's a couple hundred pages and you're done. But at the end of it, you've read a story and you feel satisfied. Right. And I think I'm remembering, before I got hooked on all the hardcore Monster Hunter type gaming, that it's kind of satisfying to play a game and then put it down and say, I liked that game. Maybe in another couple months I'll get another one like that, instead of hooking myself to one game and just making that my identity. Anyway, I've been talking for a long time. Do you guys want to talk? Because I feel like I'm hogging this.
Yeah, I mean, I can see both sides of the coin, honestly, so I'm kind of pretty central on this topic, quite frankly. Like, I can see, because that's actually why when I was in college I played a lot of RPGs, because it's like, I'm gonna put this $60 and that's gonna be 600 hours, as opposed to, like, I don't know, a Madden where I might play it for like 16 hours type of thing. That actually did cross my mind. So I think it has a lot to do with your own personal state of being, really, to answer that type of question. But I am with you in the fact that I won't say that, like, just because a game is $60 and it's only X amount of hours, that it's not worth it. I don't know that I would necessarily take that approach. I would have to factor in, like, okay, what were those 16 hours that I put in? What was I enjoying the art? Was I enjoying the story? Was I, having maybe a good time with my friends in an online experience? That type of thing. All of that would factor into my whether or not I thought the $60 was worth it. Because quite frankly, like, if that was the case, like, if we were only judging by the amount of hours spent by the amount of dollars paid, then might as well only play Fortnite for the rest of our life. It's free to play. So.
Yeah.
I think it gets kind of dangerous when you start quantifying, your enjoyment. Like, instead of just like looking at it on its face and saying, as a whole, I enjoyed this and it was worth my time and money. When you start breaking it down piecemeal and saying, like, the soundtrack was good, but the art wasn't very good, but the length was good, but then you're so getting so granular with something as mysterious as enjoyment and fun, something that really you can't. It's like, what makes a piece of art good versus not good, like it should be a little more, I guess, based than that. Like, there's a place for harsh critical review, and that's what reviewers are for. But I think in this day and age, everybody is a reviewer. Everybody's a movie reviewer. Everybody is a video game reviewer. So, like, you go to the movies and you sit down and you watch Avengers Endgame, and you're like, well, the story was sound and I really enjoyed it, but I have to say the storyline with the main villain was very hackney, and just having him show up, and it's like, it's that kind of thing. It's like, we're so quick to hyper analyze our fun that I think, to a degree, we've kind of almost forgotten how to have fun.
That's kind of what I was going to say, kind of get at, right? Like, there's always going to be that fun factor that you always have to factor in too, right? Like, it doesn't matter if the story was crap or the art was crap and the soundtrack was crap. If I had fun, then ultimately that's going to outweigh everything, So.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I know I've talked about this game 1,000 times, but that's because I'm so hyped for it. My One Punch Man fighting game comes out in a month, and people are slamming it online. The animations are a little janky. The character models look a little old school. It looks incredibly unbalanced. It's an arena fighter. All of these things that are legitimate, to a degree, legitimate complaints. But I'm just so excited for a game with characters that I like, and I'm just going to be running around as characters I like, battling other characters I like. Right. Like, for me, it's worth every penny.
Now you understand how I felt going into Rise of Skywalker. I was stoked about it. I was excited to go hang out with my dad and watch another Star Wars. Yeah. There's all these people. Oh, well, this is crap. This is crap. And it's like, shut hot.
It,
Get
it
over
gets
yourself.
it
Let
gets
me
to-
enjoy my stuff.
It gets to a point, and on the whole, I'm actually kind of like leaving the internet to a large degree. Like I'm staying around for the bits that I need to. You know, I know that I'm never going to be able to promote my game if I'm not online in some form. You know, I want to make content on YouTube and stuff, but I'm kind of like I'm drifting away from the collective hive mind of the internet, and I'm kind of happy about that because it's annoying, guys. Like, you know, I understand like hearing constructive criticism about something that you like Pokemon. Right. And how many people were like bashing Pokemon before it even came out and stuff, and oh, the trees don't look good enough, and oh, they only included 400 Pokemon, and you know, but at a certain point it gets kind of tiring, you know. And I think there's a difference between being a blind fanboy and just wanting to go into an experience with a positive light, and you know, wanting to get back that feeling of what it's like to be a kid and to play a game because it's fun, not because it's technically sound.
Sure.
And
well, yeah, those thoughts on Pokemon ruined your launch day experience.
I was in a miserable.
Able to do the Pokemon podcast because of it.
I was in a miserable mood.
And this is going to be your most played Switch game by the time it's all said and done in 2 years.
It's just like every now and then I forget how like people just hate, you know, and some of it's justified, but I think that to a degree it's healthy to shut all that off, you know. It doesn't matter if people like the same stuff you like. It doesn't matter if they hate the things that you like or if you hate the thing that everybody else likes. Your opinions are your own, and I think maybe the problem is that we're all just sharing our opinions way too much, you know. I mean, I'm supposed to be like a podcaster about Nintendo stuff, and I'm supposed to share my opinions like they're more important than whoever's listening to this right now. But at the end of the day, they're not, you know. And my take on a game shouldn't really affect anyone else's. So it's fine to share that opinion, but don't think that, you know, your opinion has more value. You know, don't think that just because you're outraged at something, a game company should change the way they do what they're doing. And maybe this is getting way too preachy, but like, I don't know. I've been kind of bottling all this up for a while, and you know, I've been wanting to distance myself from the internet, and I think that's kind of why I'm kind of having a breakthrough as we're talking. It's a lot, you know.
I guess the thing is just kind of be self-aware. Like,
try not to be quite so toxic, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm not saying
that's kind of what I'm striving for this year. Oh, go to hell.
Speaking of toxic.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm striving for this year. I'm trying my hardest to, you know, surround myself with a more positive group.
Yeah.
You know, whether that's in the Infendo Discord, in my Discord, on Twitter, I've been blocking people that I don't really care what they have to say. Like, just be a decent human being for the love of God.
Yeah.
Please.
I like to live by this, I guess, proverb, for a lack of a better term, that I like to live by. It's okay to not like things, but don't be a dick about it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that pretty much sums up our entire conversation. So,
yeah.
With that, maybe we should go to the end of this show.
Yeah, let's. I mean, while we already touched on it a bit, Steve's got his own thing going on, and he'd like to tell you where you can join him. Yeah,
so go over to Infendo.com, click on the community tab, join the Infendo Discord, and for the love of God, join my Discord. The end of Hyrule Warriors is finally upon us. I am planning on doing my stream of the final mission, which will be the final mission in the story mode on Hero, on Saturday night at 10:30 Mountain Time. So if you're listening to the produced show, head back over to twitch.tv/Gentis and watch the recap. If you're listening to this live, you know, tune in over there on Saturday night. I think what I'm going to wind up doing... Friday. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. We have a new showtime. So yeah, even if you're listening to the produced version, tune in tomorrow night. I think what I want to do is kind of go through some of the different missions and explain some of the stuff I've had to do to get to this point, and then play the final mission. But I really haven't decided exactly what I'm doing yet, other than getting the final 2 medals. So I am stoked about that. It's going to be so much fun.
I thought that you told me that you were going to do all the challenges too.
At some point, I'll get back to that.
Just kidding.
Like,
yes.
oh, that...
What's funny is we were talking the other night, and he's like, "Those jerks who are gonna point out that I haven't done the challenges."
Yep, and there he is, right above me, or next to me. I don't know. I can't see the Twitch stream.
For what it's worth, I'll probably be tuning in to Steve's live stream this Saturday and lighting up his Discord channel. So
yep, it's gonna be fun.
He's got some fun emojis that I can't use because I'm not a Discord Nitro member, but you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, Lucas, although you are not a Discord Nitro member, you are a member of the Nitro
Infendo Discord.
of my heart. I don't know where I'm going with this. Lucas, tell the people where they can find you.
Well, first of all, don't put Nitro in your heart. It will kill you. You can find me on my YouTube channel, which Steve told me was easy to remember, but I have already forgotten the URL. I want to say it was youtube.com/users.
Wasn't it PSky8?
Yeah, I think so, because that was my old handle 10 years ago.
I think if you go to youtube.com/PSky8, it'll actually get you there.
Honestly, just search Lucas Peace and I should be one of the first results. I'm the dude with about 100 subscribers and my face with a blue beard and mustache looking ever so ponderingly at the camera.
I also forgot to mention something else, Lucas. So when you're done, I'll talk about that.
So yeah, no, go there. I would love to be able to get out some video content sooner rather than later. Might even try shooting that tonight if I can get the script written and record it before I pass out. But I would like to have that up on the channel soon. I would also very much like to use the new capture card that I got for Christmas to maybe stream some Pokemon battles. So if you're interested in watching me fight some random dudes online and possibly get absolutely wrecked and cry, if you want to watch a grown man cry, subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can go see that. YouTube is really going to be my main hub, I think, in 2020 for like social media and whatnot. So please, if you have any interest in me at all, that's the place to go for that.
Lucas, I have so much interest in you. So much, in fact, that I'm going to plug something that I love so much that's called Hypervoice. It's this new podcast that I just heard of. And
that was what I forgot to promote.
Yeah, there's these two cool guys on there that are talking Pokemon. No, for real, though. Lucas
they sound really sexy.
Lucas and Steve started their own podcast called Hypervoice. It is an in-depth dive into everything Pokemon, so definitely go subscribe to that.
So, yeah, you can get there through Spreaker.com/Hypervoice podcast.
Spreaker.
That is spelled SPREAKER. Spreaker.com/Hypervoice podcast.
And I believe
I have good news.
Our first episode is going live on Apple in 2 days.
Yeah, our first episode is already live on Google Play, and it just got approved for Apple today, so within the next 24 to 48 hours, it should be searchable there. You can get our RSS feed at Spreaker.com and plug it into your favorite podcast app. The only ones that won't approve us yet is iHeartRadio. Everybody else has us.
Probably worth mentioning too that we'd like to get on a consistent schedule. We're going to be taking a little 2-week break right off the bat because Steven's a busy guy. He's got a lot of work stuff going on.
I'm traveling to New Mexico. It's going to be wonderful.
We'll probably be recording our next episode the week after he gets back, early February, and we're going to be kind of breaking down all the basics. So if you have any interest in Pokemon battling online against other real human beings, please check us out. We'd appreciate it.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, you can find me and everything that's going on. Just go to Infendo.com. That's probably going to be the main hub. Join the Infendo Discord. Join the, I almost said Hypervoice Discord. Join the Steven Discord.
Coming. Casa de Gentis.
Yeah, and then you learn everything that you want to learn from there. But that's it, y'all. We've made it to the end of the show, so we will catch you all next week with another good one.
Peace.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Nice.
I love it. I can't believe I forgot to plug that, Lucas. That's embarrassing.
I wouldn't have remembered, so it's good that Eugene was here.
You fucking guys. I was like, nobody's going to tell anything about the fucking podcast that you guys just started. I guess I'll fucking do it.
Good thing one of us is on our game tonight, huh, Eugene? Also, I am dying in this room. It's so hot.
You do look rather like Attack of the Killer Tomatoes character.
Yeah, it's bad.
Goodbye, Twitch. We love you so much. It's time to say au revoir.